Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a comparison review, or should I upgrade episode, of the Saucony Triumph 22 versus the Saucony Triumph 23. Now the Triumph series has always been Saucony's premium neutral daily training shoe, one of the more cushioned shoes in their lineup. The 22 was a really big step, moving that forward with a update to a full-length Power Run PB midsole, which made it much softer underfoot. Really changed from 21, which is a more responsive, lighter shoe. Version 22 got much heavier, much softer, and became a much more relaxed shoe that really fits into kind of where things were maybe supposed to be, depending on what your opinion is. Nathan really enjoyed this shoe. I kind of struggled with it. 23 takes us back to the 21 with a much more responsive ride, much lighter shoe, much more aggressive type feel, performance type feel. And because these are so different, I thought this is really worth doing a comparison video to help you figure out which one might work better for you, just because they are so different. So as always, let's start off with specs in my men's size 10. The stack height is going to come in at 37 millimeters in the heel, 27 in the forefoot for a 10 millimeter drop, which is supposed to be the same between the two of these, although they feel very different. And part of that's coming in from the weight. So the 22 is coming in at 11.1 ounces or 317 grams. Version 23 is much lighter, coming in at 9.9 ounces or 281 grams. So really, really different. And that's again where the differences start, and they continue a long way. So although these both have Power Run PB, they could not feel more different. As I mentioned, version 22, much softer, slower ride, much more relaxed, works really well for easy runs, maybe some longer stuff if you're stable enough to handle this, which I wasn't, and walking, standing, really great in 22. Version 23 is much more a running shoe. It's got much more bounce, much more responsive. I've actually been able to do workouts in 23. I could not do that in 22, and this kind of returns to the root of 21. So if you like that, 23 is going to be better. If you wanted more of a relaxed ride, 22 is going to be better. Both have great heel bevels and forefoot rockers. There's a good amount of stiffness between the two of these just because there is so much midsole. There's mild, teeny bit of flexibility, so really smooth transition no matter where you land. There's just going to be a teeny bit more stiffness in version 23 just because the midsole is just a teeny bit firmer compared to the more compression-ready midsole Power Run PB of 22. But not the stiffest options out there. There's no plates or stiffening agents in here, so if you have really aggressive toe mobility issues, maybe these will get you by. If you have mild issues, more maximal stuff, you're going to have to probably get more maximal stiff plated shoes. So still not that far, but highly cushioned between the two of them. Now, when it comes to the stability, version 22, it's a premium neutral daily training shoe. They're not supposed to be stable technically. 22 certainly fit that, much softer ride. Yes, wider sole, yes, sidewalls, but the midsole's so soft. For people like me that had stability needs, this was not the best option. 23 goes in a different direction, where if you look at the rear foot, not as much lateral flare, a lot more medial flare. So I actually have been able to do longer runs because there is more medial guidance in this shoe. And if people need that, it works really, really well if you need it mildly. If people have lateral sensitivities and need more lateral stability or guidance, that's not going to work because you're going to get pushed that direction. So just FYI, two different people. If you have lateral stability, if you have any sensitivities in terms of getting pushed lateral, maybe version 22 is going to be better, but if you need the medial guidance, version 23 is going to be better. When it continues to the rest of the sole, again, a little bit wider midfoot in version 23, so just a tiny bit more stable overall compared to 22. Now, when we talk about durability, things are different, right? You got to drop that weight from somewhere. A lot of that came from the outsole, where you can already see I've got 20 miles on this pair of 23. There's already a lot of wear here. So, and I don't know if I'm going to cut off or like clip that outsole piece. We'll keep getting miles to figure that out. Version 22 is much more durable, much more XT900 rubber throughout the length of the shoe, so it's going to last probably quite a bit longer than 23. So if you're lighter on your feet, 23 might be better. If you need a lot more durability, 22 is probably going to be the better option. Then if we move to the fit, also really different. 22 is interesting because from 21, 22 fits much wider and has a much higher volume. So a wider foot and need more room, 22 is a better option. It also has a ton more padding and cushioning throughout the length shoe. Really thick upper and really gets warm on hot days, I notice. But it provides a lot more room and a lot more plush cushioning throughout the length of the shoe. Now in 23, that's different. Much more of a performance upper. Not the lightest upper on the market, but it fits much lower volume and a lot more snug throughout the length of the shoe. So people with more narrow feet, this shoe's going to probably work better, or if you want a performance fit, it's better. It did take a second to break in. I was like, oh, this is a little snug, but then it starts to open up and break in. It's much better. The area around the heel collar is much thinner, so it's not a thin amount of padding, but it's not as thick as version 22. So if you like that and want a little bit more balance, 23 is going to be a better option. If you like a little bit more padding, then 22 is going to be a better option. So really different shoes. You want a softer, more relaxed shoe that works for slow running, walking, and standing. Version 22 might be the better option, especially if you want something that's neutral and really soft underfoot. If you want something that is more responsive, that is a little bit more snug, a little more performance oriented, but still has a ton of cushioning underfoot, and maybe even a little bit of medial stability, version 23 is going to be a better option. As always, I really want to know what you think in the comments below because everybody experiences things differently. Please let me know, are you having similar experiences or different experiences? Did you like the updates to version 22 from 21? Do you want that back in version 23 or not? Let me know. And as always, hope this helps because I do this to help you guys make better decisions on what you put on your feet because I want you not to think about this as much and be able to just go enjoy your run and have fun.